World Mental Health Day, and later Sharad Purnima.
Stars, they can tell you stories which are brighter than yesterday. The streets have never been so quiet. The squirrels found a new hideaway.
Tomorrow will never be the same. There is so much hope in our hearts. Brick by brick, we shall overcome and walk right into a new start.
Welcome to the brand new world. We're the children of our Mother Earth. Reach out your hands, let us lead our earth together. Welcome to the brand new world. We're the children of our Mother Earth. Reach out your hands, let us lead our earth together. We will heal the earth, heal the earth, heal the earth.
Namaste. Diwali on Trafalgar Square is back again. A Mayor of London event in partnership with Dill. Rangoli competition, tasty vegetarian food vendors, light features, and a spectacular recorded performances on a big screen. Diwali on Trafalgar Square, Saturday 23rd October, 4 p.m. till 10 p.m. For further information, visit diwaliinlondon.com. It's free entry. Shubh Deepavali. Namaste. Join us this Sunday for a free double global online sessions, World Mental Health Day, and later Sharad Purnima.
We will heal the earth, heal the earth, heal the earth. We will heal the earth, heal the earth, heal the earth.
Stars, they can tell you stories which are brighter than yesterday. The streets have never been so quiet. The squirrels found a new hideaway.
Tomorrow will never be the same. There is so much hope in our hearts. Brick by brick, we shall overcome and walk right into a new start.
Welcome to the brand new world. We're the children of our Mother Earth. Reach out your hands, let us lead our earth together. Welcome to the brand new world. We're the children of our Mother Earth. Reach out your hands, let us lead our earth together. We will heal the earth, heal the earth, heal the earth.
Namaste. Diwali on Trafalgar Square is back again. A Mayor of London event in partnership with Dill. Rangoli competition, tasty vegetarian food vendors, light features, and a spectacular recorded performances on a big screen. Diwali on Trafalgar Square, Saturday 23rd October, 4 p.m. till 10 p.m. For further information, visit diwaliinlondon.com. It's free entry. Shubh Deepavali. Namaste. Join us this Sunday for a free double global online sessions, World Mental Health Day, and later Sharad Purnima.
We will heal the earth, heal the earth, heal the earth. We will heal the earth, heal the earth, heal the earth.
Stars, they can tell you stories which are brighter than yesterday. The streets have never been so quiet. The squirrels found a new hideaway.
Tomorrow will never be the same. There is so much hope in our hearts. Brick by brick, we shall overcome and walk right into a new start.
Welcome to the brand new world. We're the children of our Mother Earth. Reach out your hands, let us lead our earth together. Welcome to the brand new world. We're the children of our Mother Earth. Reach out your hands, let us lead our earth together. We will
Namaste. Diwali on Trafalgar Square is back again. A Mayor of London event in partnership with Dill. Rangoli competition, tasty vegetarian food vendors, light features, and a spectacular recorded performances on a big screen. Diwali on Trafalgar Square, Saturday 23rd October, 4 p.m. till 10 p.m. For further information, visit diwaliinlondon.com. It's free entry. Shubh Deepavali. Namaste. Join us this Sunday for a free double global online sessions, World Mental Health Day, and later Sharad Purnima.
Stars, they can tell you stories which are brighter than yesterday. The streets have never been so quiet. The squirrels found a new hideaway.
Tomorrow will never be the same. There is so much hope in our hearts. Brick by brick, we shall overcome and walk right into a new start.
Welcome to the brand new world. With the children of our Mother Earth, reach out your hands. Let us lead our earth together. Welcome to the brand new world. With the children of our Mother Earth, reach out your hands. Let us lead our earth together. We will heal the earth, heal the earth, heal the earth.
Namaste. Diwali on Trafalgar Square is back again. A Mayor of London event in partnership with Dill. Rangoli competition, tasty vegetarian food vendors, light features, and a spectacular recorded performances on a big screen. Diwali on Trafalgar Square, Saturday 23rd October, 4 p.m. till 10 p.m. For further information, visit diwaliinlondon.com. It's free entry. Shubh Deepavali. Namaste. Join us this Sunday for a free double global online sessions, World Mental Health Day, and later Sharad Purnima.
Stars, they can tell you stories which are brighter than yesterday. The streets have never been so quiet. The squirrels found a new hideaway.
Tomorrow will never be the same. There is so much hope in our hearts. Brick by brick, we shall overcome and walk right into a new start.
Welcome to the brand new world. With the children of our Mother Earth, reach out your hands. Let us lead our earth together. Welcome to the brand new world. With the children of our Mother Earth, reach out your hands. Let us lead our earth together. We will heal the earth, heal the earth, heal the earth.
Namaste. Diwali on Trafalgar Square is back again. A Mayor of London event in partnership with Dill. Rangoli competition, tasty vegetarian food vendors, light features, and a spectacular recorded performances on a big screen. Diwali on Trafalgar Square, Saturday 23rd October, 4 p.m. till 10 p.m. For further information, visit diwaliinlondon.com. It's free entry. Shubh Deepavali. Namaste. Join us this Sunday for a free double global online sessions, World Mental Health Day, and later Sharad Purnima.
Stars, they can tell you stories which are brighter than yesterday. The streets have never been so quiet. The squirrels found a new hideaway.
Tomorrow will never be the same. There is so much hope in our hearts. Brick by brick, we shall overcome and walk right into a
Welcome to the brand new world. Give the children of our Mother Earth. Reach out your hands. Let us heal our earth together. Welcome to the brand new world. Give the children of our Mother Earth. Reach out your hands. Let us heal our earth together.
Namaste. Diwali on Trafalgar Square is back again. A Mayor of London event in partnership with Dill. Rangoli competition, tasty vegetarian food vendors, light features, and a spectacular recorded performances on a big screen. Diwali on Trafalgar Square, Saturday 23rd October, 4 p.m. till 10 p.m. For further information, visit diwaliinlondon.com. It's free entry. Shubh Deepavali. Namaste. Join us this Sunday for a free double global online sessions, World Mental Health Day, and later Sharad Purnima.
Stars, they can tell you stories which are brighter than yesterday. The streets have never been so quiet. The squirrels found a new hideaway.
Tomorrow will never be the same. There is so much hope in our hearts. Brick by brick, we shall overcome and walk right into a new start.
Welcome to the brand new world. Give the children of our Mother Earth. Reach out your hands. Let us heal our earth together. Welcome to the brand new world. Give the children of our Mother Earth. Reach out your hands. Let us heal our earth together.
Namaste. Diwali on Trafalgar Square is back again. A Mayor of London event in partnership with Dill. Rangoli competition, tasty vegetarian food vendors, light features, and a spectacular recorded performances on a big screen. Diwali on Trafalgar Square, Saturday 23rd October, 4 p.m. till 10 p.m. For further information, visit diwaliinlondon.com. It's free entry. Shubh Deepavali. Namaste. Join us this Sunday for a free double global online sessions, World Mental Health Day, and later Sharad Purnima.
Stars, they can tell you stories which are brighter than yesterday. The streets have never been so quiet. The squirrels found a new hideaway.
Tomorrow will never be the same. There is so much hope in our hearts. Brick by brick, we shall overcome and walk right into a new start.
Welcome to the brand new world. Give the children of our Mother Earth. Reach out your hands. Let us heal our earth together. Welcome to the brand new world. Give the children of our Mother Earth. Reach out your hands. Let us heal our earth together.
Namaste. Diwali on Trafalgar Square is back again. A Mayor of London event in partnership with Dill. Rangoli competition, tasty vegetarian food vendors, light features, and a spectacular recorded performances on a big screen. Diwali on Trafalgar Square, Saturday 23rd October, 4 p.m. till 10 p.m. For further information, visit diwaliinlondon.com. It's free entry. Shubh Deepavali. Namaste. Join us this Sunday for a free double global online sessions, World Mental Health Day, and later Sharad Purnima.
can tell you stories which are brighter than yesterday. The streets have never been so quiet. The squirrels found a new hideaway.
Tomorrow will never be the same. There is so much hope in our hearts. Brick by brick, we shall overcome and walk right into a new start.
Welcome to the brand new world. With the children of our Mother Earth, reach out your hands. Let us lead our earth together. Welcome to the brand new world. With the children of our Mother Earth, reach out your hands. Let us lead our earth together.
We will heal the earth, heal the earth, heal the earth.
Namaste. Diwali on Trafalgar Square is back again. A Mayor of London event in partnership with Dill. Rangoli competition, tasty vegetarian food vendors, light features and a spectacular recorded performances on a big screen. Diwali on Trafalgar Square, Saturday 23rd October, 4 p.m. till 10 p.m. For further information, visit diwaliinlondon.com. It's free entry. Shubh Deepavali. Namaste. Join us this Sunday for a free double global online sessions, World Mental Health Day and later Sharad Purnima.
We will heal the earth, heal the earth, heal the earth. We will heal the earth, heal the earth, heal the earth. Stars, they can tell you stories which are brighter than yesterday. The streets have never been so quiet. The squirrels found a new hideaway.
Tomorrow will never be the same. There is so much hope in our hearts. Brick by brick, we shall overcome and walk right into a new start.
Welcome to the brand new world. With the children of our Mother Earth, reach out your hands. Let us lead our earth together. Welcome to the brand new world. With the children of our Mother Earth, reach out your hands. Let us lead our earth together.
We will heal the earth, heal the earth, heal the earth.
Namaste. Diwali on Trafalgar Square is back again. A Mayor of London event in partnership with Dill. Rangoli competition, tasty vegetarian food vendors, light features and a spectacular recorded performances on a big screen. Diwali on Trafalgar Square, Saturday 23rd October, 4 p.m. till 10 p.m. For further information, visit diwaliinlondon.com. It's free entry. Shubh Deepavali. Namaste. Join us this Sunday for a free double global online sessions, World Mental Health Day and later Sharad Purnima.
We will heal the earth, heal the earth, heal the earth. We will heal the earth, heal the earth, heal the earth. Stars, they can tell you stories which are brighter than yesterday. The streets have never been so quiet. The squirrels found a new hideaway.
Tomorrow will never be the same. There is so much hope in our hearts. Brick by brick, we shall overcome and walk right into a new start.
Welcome to the brand new world. With the children of our Mother Earth, reach out your hands. Let us lead our earth together. Welcome to the brand new world. With the children of our Mother Earth, reach out your hands. Let us lead our earth together.
We will heal the earth, heal the earth, heal the earth.
Namaste. Diwali on Trafalgar Square is back again. A Mayor of London event in partnership with Dill. Rangoli competition, tasty vegetarian food vendors, light features and a spectacular recorded performances on a big screen. Diwali on Trafalgar Square, Saturday, 23rd October, 4 p.m. till 10 p.m. For further information, visit diwaliinlondon.com. It's free entry. Shubh Deepavali. Namaste. Join us this Sunday for a free double global online sessions, World Mental Health Day, and later Sharad Purnima.
Stars, they can tell you stories which are brighter than yesterday. The streets have never been so quiet. The squirrels found a new hideaway.
Tomorrow will never be the same. There is so much hope in our hearts. Brick by brick, we shall overcome and walk right into a new.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10.
Hello, and a global namaste and warm welcome to everyone who's joining us here on Healing Our Earth. We have viewers from across the world. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you are reaching us from across the globe. There are on our average more than 30 countries who are tuning in to Healing Our Earth on a weekly basis. Healing Our Earth promotes love, peace, and unity across people. So it's so wonderful to be here and to welcome you. We're actually very, very excited because this is our 99th event. Can you believe it? That's just amazing. We have only one more event till we hit the century. So a warm welcome to all of you and welcome once again to Healing Our Earth. Today, we're going to talk about World Mental Health. Last week on the 10th of October was World Mental Health Day. So we're going to have the first 3 hours of today's session focusing on World Mental Health Day events and talks. And this will be followed by another session which is called Sharad Purnima. My name is Dr. Noor Vyas. I'm an associate professor of psychology, and I'm going to be hosting this session for the next 3 hours. We have a wonderful lineup of speakers for you today. Healing Our Earth, in association with Kingston University London, brings to you a special event on World Mental Health Day. We are in for a real treat because we have a whole series of lightning talks. So these are really short talks, and I think that will grab your attention. And this will bring us to bring together lots of academics, scientists, authors, mental health charity organizations. And we'll also hear from an individual and individuals who have experienced a mental health condition. So it's actually quite exciting. Upon reflection, it's been almost 1.5 years since we've been in the pandemic. And it's been filled with quite a lot of uncertainty and unpredictability. So well done to all of us for getting through this past 1.5 years. We often find ourselves going through a whole roller coaster of emotions, and yet deep within, we have this inner belief and hope that things will get much better. We realize that there's very little we can do externally to control the situation, but there are some simple things and yet effective things that we can do or apply in our life to make things much better for ourselves in terms of taking care of ourselves. So this brings me to the topic of the importance of mental health and physical health. We know that mental health is equally as important as our physical health. It includes things like our emotional well-being, our psychological well-being, and our social well-being. It also affects how we process information, like thoughts, how we feel, so our emotions, and then how we behave, so our actions. So all of these three things need to be in sync. And mental health does have an effect as well as our physical health. So if we experience a physical health problem, like let's say hyperglycemia, like high blood pressure, we often visit a clinic to seek help. And this leads to a diagnosis, and we often get some treatment. And I find that we also talk to our family members about this, and we also talk to our friends, and we say, oh, I went to the GP the other day and this is what happened and this is what they suggested. So my message to everyone today is that just like we go to our GPs and we meet a professional who knows a lot about physical health problems, in the same way, it's really important that we seek help and support for mental health conditions as well. Physical health problems significantly increase the risk of poor mental health. So it's really important that just like we go to the GP for physical checkup, I often call it like an MOT, which we do in cars on a yearly basis. So in a similar way, it's really important that we regularly check up on our own mental health on a regular basis. So that's one way of looking at it, and it's quite important to do that, some form of MOT. But also, I think it would be really nice if we could ask ourselves on a regular basis, how am I feeling today? So often when we ask a question to ourselves, we get a response. So if we ask ourselves how we're feeling, the chances are that our mind would tell us that I'm not feeling good today, I'm feeling a bit anxious today, I'm not quite sure why that is. But if you ask that question, then you're likely to get a response and you're more likely to want to be doing something to be able to get things better for yourself, to take care of yourself. So when we check in on ourselves, we notice changes in our well-being, and we can decide whether to speak to a loved one, maybe a friend, or seek help for more extensive support. So I have like a couple of tips I'd like to suggest on what we can do to take care of ourselves. The first is to establish some kind of daily routine in place. So keeping like a morning routine, like some people are still working from home, whilst many others have gone back to work. And some others have gone back to work, but they're not going in every single day. There are certain days and it's a bit segregated during the week. So depending on your circumstance, you might want to consider having some form of routine. So even if no one's looking, if you're working from home, that's fine. But wearing a pajama, for example, isn't really going to help keep the focus. So trying to stay well groomed, well dressed, even when you're at home, often does have an effect on our mindset and how we feel on that day. Also setting some working hours so that you can find a nice balance. You're working, but also you have time for yourself. That's equally important. Have some time for, if you have kids, board games, watching movies with them. All of that really does play a very invaluable impact. It has an impact in that way. The second thing is to feed or nourish your mind positively. So things like meditation, which we'll be doing shortly, reading a book, which is very positive, watching a motivational talk. A lot of people like to go onto certain websites to listen to these short motivational talks. So this is something which I think is ideal to be able to keep our mind positively nourished. And it also gives us a positive outlook on the day ahead. Another thing you could do is the night before, write a to-do list, and that will prepare you for the next day. And when you do that, it's quite useful, especially if you're depending on the work you do. So you could send out emails to people, you could have a strategy of what it is that you want to cover the next day. So it's not like you're waking up the next day and you don't know what's happening, and then you're writing your plan out then. The problem with that is that it often brings out a lot of stress and anxiety because you've got lots to do, but you haven't planned it, so it's not in your calendar. So having a plan a night before often does help, and it keeps a bit of balance in your life as well. The third and final thing I'd like to suggest is giving yourself time. So we can call this me time because it matters to me, right? So it matters to each one of us. This is alone time. It could be where you're reflecting on how things are going so far in your life. It also takes you away from the busy day that you've had, maybe at work, maybe you're taking care of your children, maybe you're doing lots of household duties. So if you're able to step aside from that, it allows you to relax the mind. It's also possible, of course, that you try to fit it in. You know your schedule better than anyone else. So even if someone suggests I have me time in the evening, that might not work for you, right? So try to have a schedule that works perfectly for you. It might be early morning where most people aren't awake, maybe 5:30, 6 o'clock. So do it according to what works in your schedule, according to your time. Another factor is that some of other things that you could do is certain activities which allow for me time. So going for a walk, maybe having a long bath. I know people don't really talk about that, but it's actually quite relaxing. So even if you say at least once a month, I'm going to ensure that I have a nice bath, have a bath gel and just relax. That's something which is quite nice. You can also meditate. We'll practice that shortly. You can watch some of your favorite programs. I know a lot of mums who say, I've just stopped watching all of these programs, I don't have time. But they also say to me that they set time late in the evenings to be able to do the things that they really want to do, watching programs, watching a movie, for example. There are also virtual gyms, which are now very, very effective, especially during the pandemic. People often thought, how can you work out? How can you actually do any sort of workout from home? But now we've seen during the pandemic that is actually feasible. So that's a great thing you can do as well. And then finally, me time also means coming out of the busyness of it. So just trying to find time for yourself. So those are my tips. And I'd now like to invite you all for a brief meditation. We won't have any music, and I think that's the beauty of it, that you don't need any music. You can just sit and relax. So take a deep breath in and out. Again, deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. Okay. Turning inwards, watch your thoughts and let the speed of these thoughts slow down and come to a point of stillness within. When you're at this point, this is a point of peace. Peace is who I am. Peace is my natural state. Having connected with myself, I come back again to the things of the world outside and everything happening here in the current moment. But now that I'm connected with my own peace, I can share this with others through my thoughts, through my emotions, and through my actions. Okay. So it's quite simple, these meditations. Often people think of meditation as being in certain positions, but it can be as simple as this. So during this entire 3-hour session, we will suddenly, very randomly, do a meditation in between talks. So that should be fun. Okay, so now let's commence our World Mental Health Day event. I'd like to introduce our first speaker, Dr. Sabira Manan. A warm welcome to you, Dr. Manan, to Healing Earth.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Dr. Manan is Head of Department of Psychology at Kingston University. Dr. Manan joined Kingston University in 2010 from the Department of Clinical Neurosciences at Oxford University. And prior to that, she worked for 10 years at the Centre for Neuroscience at Imperial College London. She completed her PhD from Imperial College London after studying at Southampton University and St. Thomas's Medical School. In terms of her research interests, it's very much focused on evaluating rehabilitation techniques for patients with visual disorders as a result of stroke. She's also interested in how to extract visual information from the world and in understanding the neural pathways involved in these processes. And more recently, Dr. Manon has focused more on understanding the role of eye movements in decision-making and working memory. So a global namaste to Dr. Manon. Thank you so much for being here. And I think you'll be sharing a message for World Mental Health Day. So over to you.
Right. That's right. Thank you so much, Nora, Dr. Vyas, for that really inspiring introduction and those practical tips as well. So I'm just here to talk for 2 minutes about the message for World Mental Health Day. So the message for this year's Mental Health Day is mental health in an unequal world. And the ultimate aim, which will obviously take more than one day, is to make mental health accessible to everybody throughout the world. We know that the global pandemic has had a serious impact on mental health conditions, and World Health Statistics suggest that almost 1 billion people suffer from a mental health condition, and it can happen to anyone. At Kingston University in the psychology department, we're really proud of the work that we do around mental health, but also very humble, in the face of all the challenges that there are. So a lot of our work has an international dimension. I could mention the work on PTSD and amongst children of war and refugees, or the sort of very groundbreaking work on COVID-19 anxiety and how that impacts individuals around the world. I could talk about Dr. Vyas's research. She's a brilliant academic, one of the few experts on early onset schizophrenia, and she uses very complex neuroimaging and cognitive tests and techniques to evaluate this very interesting condition. We have forensic psychologists who look at the impact of crime and forensic mental health. And a lot of our work is very practical, looking at ways of improving e-security and preventing cyberbullying, or as Dr. Samaya Mohammadi is also present today, her work evaluating and developing e-health techniques to help carers and sufferers from chronic mental health. So this is just a taste of the work that we do. If you're interested in any of our work, please do get in touch with us. But the aim of today is really to talk about mental health, how we all have mental health, and how we can come together and talk about practical interventions and tips and ways of improving our lives. Because we all have, if you improve your mental health, it's not just for you, it's for everybody around you, those who depend on you. And very often we don't take the time to do that. So I'm so glad that you've joined us today. And I'd particularly like to thank our hosts, Healing Our Earth, and also, because nobody else will, Dr. Nora Vyas, who has initiated, organized, and brought us all together. So thank you, Nora, very, very much. I'm now going to hand over to our next speaker. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Manon. It's a pleasure, and it's such a beautiful message that you've shared. So thank you. It's so wonderful to know the efforts from the university and to know about the diverse range of research that she's carried out at the university and how much importance we give to mental health. So thank you so much, and a global namaste finally, and thank you so much for your contribution.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we progress on to our next speaker, who is Dr. Samaya Mohammadi. So, hi, Dr. Samaya, how are you?
I'm good. Hello, everyone. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you so much. So, Dr. Samaya is trained professionally as a psychotherapist with research training in health psychology and family therapy. Her main research expertise and interests is in the impact of chronic conditions on individuals with chronic conditions within family carers and those who actually have the condition, and developing and applying e-health interventions to enhance the quality of life and well-being of individuals with such chronic conditions, as well as the interventions and support necessary for family caregivers. So this is actually invaluable. It's really, really helpful. So Dr. Samaya will be talking about coping strategies for stress and anxiety. So over to you, Dr. Samaya. A global namaste to you and a warm welcome to you on this platform.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. And so I prepared some slides. I can share them with the audience if that helps us to
absolutely
talk over the slides instead of I believe you should be able to see that.
Yes.
Perfect. So thank you again, everyone, for joining in today's session. As Dr. Nora mentioned, I'm going to talk briefly about how we are going to cope with stress and what are some basic strategies to deal with stress. And I appreciate our collaboration with Healing Our Earth and using their platform to present today and start this conversation. So I want to start with asking this question that what is a stress? And if I ask people what is a stress, I believe that most of us, we probably experience a stress. Some of us are maybe at the moment we are dealing with some level of a stress in our life. And if I ask you what is a stress, you may say something like the words, I'm being under pressure, I feel angry, I'm anxious, nervous, and like feeling depressed. So these are the words that we use when we want to tell other people that we are dealing with a stress. Psychologists describe a stress as when it's kind of a response, psychological, physiological, and behavioral response. When we think that demands on us are more than our abilities to cope or to answer those demands. One thing that we need to pay